was really fun. So that trip was great. And I remember we would start really early in the morning because it was hot.
Mm-hmm.
But I remembered like driving across the middle of nowhere, watching the sunrise on a motorcycle is like the most
Oh my gosh, that just
beautiful
gave me
thing
chills
in the world.
Oh.
It's so magical. So if you ever have a chance to go on a motorcycle ride.
Hey there. Welcome to Parties to Playdates. I'm Kendall.
And I'm Jess. We're here to fill your day with warmth and laughter.
Join us as we navigate the chaos and joy of everyday life.
We're all about sharing real life moments with a dash of humor and practical tips.
So grab your coffee and settle in for a cozy chat.
Because here, every moment is a story worth sharing.
No topic is off limit.
And every listener is a friend.
Let's get this party started. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, what's been going on?
I've had this delightful possible sinus infection, just really bad allergies. I don't know, but my car is yellow.
Well, that's definitely pollen.
From the pollen. But I've just had, I've just been blowing my nose constantly. So anyways, I've just been working through that. And I don't know about you, whenever I don't feel good, I am the least productive person in the world.
Yeah. I just want to sleep. And I think that's totally okay.
Like my brain just stops working. Like there's things I want to get done. And, to me, like having a stuffy nose is not a big deal and I shouldn't be not doing anything. But it was so extreme that I was like, I'm not going to do anything. Like I mentally cannot. And it's okay.
And it's totally okay. Are you the type of person, because I know I am, when my nose is like really stuffy, and I mean really stuffy, I have to like lay on one side and let it drain to one side. And then I can breathe from that nostril. And then I'll be like, oh, it's time to flip. And I got to lay on my other side and like let it drain, like breathe through that nostril. And hopefully some of it can come out.
I was trying to do everything and nothing was happening.
Oh.
So that I just was like, I'm just going to be breathing through my mouth for a few days.
I'm a mouth breather. Well, not like during the daytime because that's not me. But at night.
I know.
When I sleep, the mouth is open.
When you fall asleep in the car.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So yeah, but I'm feeling a lot better today and I'm on the mend and I'm so excited.
Okay, good. I'm so proud and I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Because being sick sucks. Yeah. We had a moment in December, I feel like December to January for like weeks. It was one sickness after another. And I was like, what is happening? I thought I was healthy.
I know. Sometimes your body, I feel like, has to just catch up on its immune building shenanigans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's rough. What about you?
Life is good. We're, same day, different shit, I guess.
Yeah. Same shit, maybe.
Maybe, I guess. Yeah, some days it's the same. Some days it's totally different. But yeah, working. Maverick is a hurricane.
Yeah.
And he's obsessed with scooters right now. You saw that new scooter. Well, not new. One of my girlfriends just gave it to me today because she was like, who wants this? I don't want it anymore. My kid just drags it around the house.
Get it out of my house.
She's like, someone please take it. I was like, me. So we were at the park the other day and Maverick kept seeing, like watching these older boys. They must have been like 5 or 6 on these like 3-wheeled Razor scooters. And they were super cool. I've never seen like the 3-wheel one for little kids. And he kept trying to go grab it from them. And I was like, that's not yours. Like, stop. But they were like actually kind of nice. They were like, oh, he can play with it. And I was like, can we just see if he likes it? And if he likes it, we'll just go get one, whatever. Oh my God, he loved it. He did not want to give it back. He was like screaming and honestly trying to hit the guys because he was like, give it back to me.
He's like, you gave it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's mine now.
Now, wherever there's scooters or anything, like yesterday at our 5K, there was kids on scooters, went straight for them. And I was like, Ryan, we have a problem. And then luckily, I don't know how it happened. We just must have manifested this scooter in our life. But we were looking at scooters online. They're expensive. For a kid, for a 2-year-old?
All wheeled vehicles for kids are expensive. Bikes are expensive. Scooters are expensive. 3-wheelers, all of them.
Everything. It was like at least $100 for, and I was like, oh God, he better play with it.
Yeah.
So it was free, and it's Olaf. And we love Olaf, and it's so cute. So
that's so cute.
That's fun. He's so cute because he'll just stand on it and just hold it like this, and he's like...
Like now what?
Someone gonna push me or what? And he'll like look
Don't
at
push
me.
him because then you will have nothing but pushing duty.
I pushed him all day today.
Yes, exactly.
And then the other kids were pushing him and then they were going fast. And I was like, oh no, you need a helmet.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, what did they say or do this week?
Well, all week I feel like Maverick's been in like baby mode. anytime he sees a baby, it's been like, ooh, and he like points and he can't get enough of them. And this morning, there was a little girl in one of the strollers at the workout class, and she was just sitting there minding her own business. She probably was like 9-10 months, just was like literally just sitting there. And Maverick noticed her and ran right up. Very cute. Gave her a hug on her legs and just hugged her and just went like this.
Oh.
And he's never met her. It was the first time he's ever seen her. And I was like, "Oh, Maverick, that's really sweet." And he was like, "Ooh, what dad? What dad?" I'm like, "That's baby. That's baby."
Aww.
And he just kept hugging and loving on her and trying to give her a bottle. It was really sweet. And then a few days prior, one of the little girls who comes brought a baby doll set. So it was like a baby doll with a binky, a bottle, and like a little baby carrier, which adorable.
So cute.
So cute. Everybody was fighting over it. And of course, Maverick.
The ultimate toy.
The ultimate toy. Of course, he like pushes and shoves everybody to get the damn baby doll. Sits there, and I actually have photos of it. It's so cute. He was like sitting there he was holding it like an actual baby, which I don't know how he's seen that because
he sees mommies do it.
That's true.
It's smart. They learn stuff like that just by seeing it.
That is very true. And he was trying to give it a binky, and it was so sweet. I was like, oh my gosh, look, he is so ready for a baby in his life.
Oh my gosh, that is the sweetest.
It's so cute.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when my kids were little, I loved all the cute little play stuff because we had so many friends that had babies when my kids were little. They were like pro breastfeeding kids.
Oh my
and
God,
so they would just walk around with kids like little baby dolls stuffed up their shirts, or they'd have their shirts pulled up with baby dolls just nursing. And sometimes I was like, is this okay? And I was
right. But
I guess
we do it.
Natural's best, I guess. Like they see me breastfeeding their siblings. Like it makes sense.
It's so funny.
It was really funny how quickly, like how they're just like, oh, this is how you feed a baby.
Yeah. I love it. And they're so smart. I mean, you do it once and they're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Totally.
I wish I had that confidence.
You don't realize how much they're paying attention to stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm. What's going on with you? What happened?
Well, this week, my 13-year-old, he's like one of my story guys right now.
He is MVP.
He just has all the things to share.
He really does.
He's my cool kid. He's very socially aware of things. Mm-hmm. And so this past weekend, he was on the PlayStation, and it's in like our main living room area, like living room, kitchen area that's all kind of combined. And he's over there. He's playing this game. And he plays with other kids, and so he's constantly like, "Come on, man! Like, we gotta go over here. We gotta go do this. We gotta do that." And I don't like the game he's currently playing. They have to gather supplies or stuff to build things. I'm not sure.
That sounds fun.
But so it's like this constant like search for supplies. It's like they're surviving or something. I don't really know. I probably have that completely wrong. But I was making dinner, and I hear him from across the room. He's like, "Come on, man. Come on, man. Get on the tugboat." And I was like, "The tugboat?" And I don't know what came over me, but I just shouted from the other room. I was like, "Get on the fucking tugboat. Let's go." Like, and
I'm sure he died.
He went completely silent. He's in his gaming chair, and I'm laughing. My other kids are laughing because they thought it was so funny. And he completely freezes. I look over, he's completely frozen in his chair, and then he slowly rotates it around, like as slow as possible, and gives me the longest, slowest eye roll I've ever seen. Like, it was so dramatic. It was so specific. But I was like, bro, I'm on your team. I was trying to help him get on the tugboat. Like, why isn't he getting on? Like, I don't
You're like, I'm cheering for him.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't know why it was so funny to me that they're like, these teenage boys are like, we have to get on the tugboat. And I don't know why that was so goofy and ridiculous to me. I was like, I got to get in on this. And I definitely made it inappropriate, and I shouldn't be dropping the F-bomb to the 13-year-olds, but I hear them say that
I'm sure
all the time
I was like,
on
I'm
that
sure
game.
it's not the first.
Sometimes his headphone thing will fall out, and it goes into like speaker mode on the game. And these kids say crazy things.
They're nasty.
And so I was like, this is nothing. They've heard this word before. But anyways, I don't know what came over me, but we were all in on getting on the tugboat.
That's
I think
hilarious.
he got on there, but he was not amused. I feel like I'm all about a bit. So there will be a time in our future that I will just shout, get on the tugboat. We're at Crab Island one day. I'm going to be like, get on the tugboat, man. We got to go. And he's going to remember and he's going to know. And I'm going to be satisfied that I made that joke last as long as I could.
You are such a funny mom. I love you.
I try. So yeah, just winning with the teenagers over here.
You really are, though.
Totally winning. So today we wanted to talk about traveling, which me and you both really love to travel. And we love to go to new places and different things. So what's your past experience with travel?
Well, we traveled a lot. I will say, even in my childhood, my parents, like, we did things. We went places. We went on vacations. I feel like a lot of places now that I'm thinking about it. And my siblings are probably listening like, no, we didn't. Yeah, we did. We had to go to Utah because my grandparents lived there. But we would drive. So we would hit all the different states on the way there. We did cruises to Mexico a lot. Like a lot of cruises to Mexico when we were younger. And we did one for a Christmas present a few years ago. My parents were like, would you guys rather like just have a good memory and like go as like a big family vacation to Mexico on a cruise, or do you guys really want like money and like gifts? And we're like, cruise.
Yeah.
So we did that. That was really fun. But internationally, we've done a bunch of states because me and my sister used to play softball, like travel teams and stuff. So we would like go all up and down California.
Fun.
We've gone to nationals a few times. I've like visited friends in like Texas during like college years, Oregon. I love the West Coast a lot.
It's beautiful.
I will say that. But I also have yet to experience a lot of the East Coast. I did an East Coast trip when I was in 8th grade. I really don't remember any of it. I was like more just like hanging out with friends and like doing whatever I wanted instead of actually like paying attention to the cool like stuff we were doing. I couldn't even tell you what states we did. I have no idea. Wow. I literally don't know. So when I think I was 13 as well. My aunt gifted all the girls in our family a trip to Paris. So that was like my first.
What?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh my gosh,
it was
so fun.
Fantastic. It was like, so beautiful. Again, I wish I was into like the museums and stuff because I would die to go to the places I went then and like actually understand what I'm seeing and the history and everything. But didn't care. Just ate bread and was just like hanging out trying to get cute photos.
Another baguette.
Yeah, another baguette for the queen. But it was fun. It was super cool. That was like a really cool experience. And I think that's what kind of like really opened my eyes to being like, oh my God, the world is so amazing and so different from where we live.
Yeah.
And, we were living in California then, or I was living in California then. And then I always wanted to go to Africa. I always wanted to go on a safari. And I tried so many times to ask my parents to do like a broad type thing for school. And they were like, no, it's way too expensive and you're not going to Africa. So no. And I was like, huh. So when I finally got my own money, I did it. And then that was amazing. I was supposed to go for 3 weeks, but I ended up staying for 6. So I like doubled it. I was like, I can't go home yet. I'm so not ready.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't even know how many safaris. I did a 4-day, I think 3-night safari where we slept in tents, like I don't think it was Serengeti. We did 2 safaris in Serengeti. We did a sunrise one and like a midday one. And then we slept, I want to say Ngorongoro Crater. I think we slept like in the crater in a tent, like with the buffalo and the zebras around us. It was unbelievable. Got to do that. Got to go to Zanzibar. I took like a weekend off from volunteering and I was like, we're going to Zanzibar. Who wants to come? And we just got like a bunch of people and went to Zanzibar.
Is that in Africa? Because I don't even know.
Yes, it is. It is a little, now I think I'm going to butcher it. It's a little island off of Tanzania. That's where I was. That was unbelievably beautiful. Just honestly like walked around and traveled and got to see like all the beautiful markets and like I love like foreign food. Yeah. I love food. Like street food is my thing. And everyone's like, oh, you're going to get sick. And I was like, I don't eat the meat. I'm not getting sick. We're good.
Veggies are safe, guys.
Exactly. For the most part. I guess sometimes people get sick from vegetables. But after that, actually even before that, I went to Bali for a month, which honestly, Bali does have my heart. Like I would totally live there.
I've heard really good things about Bali.
Oh my gosh.
People like, I would go back 100%.
Yeah. When Ryan and I got married, we planned on doing Bali as our honeymoon. But of course, it was during stupid COVID.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart. But Bali was one of those places that was like, nope, you got to have a vaccination to come here. And we're not. So, and we're never going to be. So we're like, that really freaking blows. So get your shit together, Bali, and let me in.
Let us in.
Yeah, Bali is just absolutely insane. I got to travel like to little islands also in Indonesia around Bali. And then I've been to Costa Rica in that same year, I believe, for a month. That was really cool.
That's
we traveled.
Cool. Those are some long trips.
Yeah, they were. At the time, the guy I was dating, he was very into traveling as well. And he was trying to find land to buy in Costa Rica. And he was like, I'm going to go figure out where I want to buy land. And then he was down there for months. And then I was like, okay, I can finally do it. Saved a bunch of money. And then went down for a month as well. He bought land when we were down there. And then we honestly just like kind of just kept traveling around. He got a van and we just backpacked. We just stayed in hostels or like little Airbnbs or anything we can find. And same with Bali. We just like kind of like just hopped around and we honestly carried our backpacks and was just like, do you have room? How much is it? Okay, great.
That's wild.
It's super fun. A lot of people that I lived with would do the same thing, like in the industry of serving tables. You could make so much money super quick. So it was like we would all just grind and work 2 jobs, work all day, work all night, save money, and then leave for a month and just blow it all and then come back and do it again. So
good old days.
Yeah, it's great. I can't do that now, unfortunately, because I don't make that kind of money like I used to, but it's pretty cool. So after Costa Rica, and I love toucans. I think toucans are like one of the coolest birds ever. They're so interesting, and they're so pretty, and they're so mysterious in their own ways.
Is there a lot of those in Costa Rica?
Yeah, and they're so cool seeing them like in the wild. Loved it. Costa Rica, Bali, Africa. I went to Vietnam after I got back home from Africa for a month again, and then was not planning ever to go to Vietnam. It was never really on my list. I love Southeast Asia. I probably would have gone to like Sri Lanka or somewhere else probably before Vietnam. But I would love to go to the Philippines. Yeah. Because we are partially Filipino. So I'm like, take me to the motherland. Like, take me home, honey.
I love it.
But Vietnam was on my girlfriend's list, and her and a friend were like, we're going to go try and teach again and volunteer. Just come. And I was like, all right, let's go again. And then I was pleasantly surprised by how cool Vietnam was. It was so cool. I probably could have lived there. Like, it was awesome. Yeah. And we went up and down. We got to go to Cat Ba, which is like another little island off of, I believe that's another island. I could be wrong, but got to go there. Got to go to like some of the major cities. It was just really cool. Bought a motorcycle down there and just drove it around everywhere. It was really freaking fun.
That's
cool. It was a lot of fun. Great food, great parties. Didn't actually volunteer.
So much for volunteering.
Didn't actually teach anybody English. Maybe the guy at the bar or something, but that's about it.
That's amazing.
And then lots of Mexico trips. I mean, when I was kids, when we were younger, we'd go to Mexico with Ryan, with you guys. That was so fun.
That's a pretty good list and such a great variety. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I will say this, a lot of my travels, I stopped a lot of places like for my layovers, and my layovers were really long, like 12 hours, 24 hours. It was like Dubai was one of the coolest airports I've ever been into. That was a big layover. It was like you could walk the whole airport in like hours, and everything was just like big and beautiful, gaudy and gold. It was so cool.
Wow.
Japan, I had to like take transfers to different airports, so I got to like go out for a little bit. That was fun. But I really want to visit Europe again, like a coastal European city or town. Or I've always told Ryan, I was like, I want to just hold your hand and skip down the cobblestone streets sipping wine somewhere.
Yes.
Maybe with a baguette.
I love
Always
it.
with bread.
Always with bread.
What about you, girl?
I definitely have not been to as many places as you have.
Oh, really? I feel like you've probably been to more states than
I really
me.
haven't. So when I was a kid, we did a lot of camping trips, just like local camping trips. And then we did a few driving trips here and there. One of the most memorable ones was my parents had motorcycles, and we drove from New Mexico through like Phoenix to California on motorcycles the entire way. It was like a 2 or 3 day trip that we took.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of fun, except for that it was summertime.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you've ever been to Phoenix in the summer, but it's like an oven. And my parents were all about safety. So we had on like jeans, boots, jacket, like
Yeah.
leather jackets, like
Oh
protection
my gosh,
helmets.
you guys are so cute.
I remember going through Arizona, we would stop at gas stations and go to those water and air machines, and we would get the water and we would just soak our clothes head to toe. Like we would just we
That's
would
smart.
be dripping wet, and then we'd get on the motorcycles and be for maybe 45 minutes because it would dry so fast,
So
and the
quick.
heat coming off the asphalt was crazy. But it was so fun to see, like when you're on a motorcycle, the way that you see the world is so different than being in a car, and you can't fall asleep on a motorcycle.
I was honestly going to ask you that. I'm like, did you take naps just holding on for dear life or like
And
what?
there was a couple times that we did doze off, and my parents would feel it because usually the first thing you do when you doze off is your head goes forward, and you're wearing a helmet, so they
Bonk.
would just be getting head butted from behind, and they would reach back and like pinch our leg and be like, "Hey, wake up!"
That
And
is
we had
so
little
cool.
like flip books, like a 3x5 spiral cards that we had pre-written phrases on, like bathroom break, I want to stop, are you hungry? So me and my sisters were the communicators, because this was like before cell phones. Like nobody had cell phones. So we would like flip through our cards, and then I would hold them up to they'd pull up next to each other. I would show my sister would talk to my dad or my mom, whoever she was riding with. She would respond back. We'd like relay the information. We were the cell phones. It was so funny.
I think that is so cool.
It was cool. It was really fun. So that trip was great. And I remember like we would start really early in the morning because it was hot. But I remembered like driving across the middle of nowhere, watching the sunrise on a motorcycle is like the most
Oh my gosh, that just
beautiful
gave me
thing in the
chills.
world.
Ugh.
It's so magical. So if you ever have a chance to go on a motorcycle ride, and being a kid and not having to drive, and you have nothing to do. All you have to do is take in the scenery, because you're not playing games, you're not on a phone. It was wonderful. So that was a really fun one. But as an adult, where I actually met Andrew, we were part of a ministry team that like traveled around and put on big youth events. So with that, we traveled through or to almost every state in the country.
Oh my God, Jess, that is so cool. I knew you've been to more states. I knew it.
We also hit a few different places in Canada.
Ooh.
But it was really cool just kind of seeing all the different towns and cities and the open spaces that are between all the big cities. Like you think about, people talk about like, oh, it's overpopulation, there's too many people, blah, blah, blah. But those people have never driven through the West.
Right.
Like,
or Texas.
there are some
so
places
big and long
that you're like, yeah, there's plenty of room out here for people. Like, I don't know if there's water or food or anything, but there's definitely room, and there's some beautiful open spaces. After we did that and traveled, I went home and I just worked, and me and a friend saved up money to do a trip to the UK. So we went to London.
Oh, how fun.
And they went to this like little coastal city that her parents had like a timeshare in or something. And then we kind of just took trains and traveled around the UK, that was like my first European anything.
Yeah,
like anytime I
girl.
traveled, I'd gone to Mexico once before, but I was younger, and it was kind of just whatever. But that was really fun. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this all the time. Every
I know,
day.
right?
Like I feel like once you go and just experience another place, I think it's so interesting. Just the people, the way that people talk, the way that people live their lives. Like there's similarities, but there are also so many differences. But it's probably good that I got married and settled down, because I would 100% be that girl that would totally be saying yes to strangers. Like, I'll give you a ride, or, oh, you can stay at my house. That's fine. And I might have ended up in some really compromising positions, because even that trip to the UK, me and my friend we were trying to set up a place to stay, and we're like 19, 20 years old. We don't have a ton of money, so we're trying to cut cost. But as we were planning, so my friend lived up in like Oregon and I lived in Utah. So me and my mom were in Utah at a yard sale one day, and we ran into this lady, and she had a British accent. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, my daughter's about to go to the UK, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, that's great. And I was like, yeah, we're really trying to find a place to stay. And then she's like, oh, you can stay with us. And I was like, really? And she was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. We'd love to have you, blah, blah, blah. So then we agreed. I got this lady's phone number, and she agreed to let me and my friend stay in her house when we came to visit London. And like 2 days before we were supposed to go, I get a message from her and she's like, hey, she's like, I'm really sorry, but we're getting our house renovated. Everything's
Oh.
tore up. We don't have anywhere for you to stay. But we talked to our friends and they have a place for you to stay. So now we're not only staying with a stranger, we're staying with a friend of a stranger. And we were like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. So when we landed at the airport in London, we didn't even know what these people looked like or who they were. We had no idea.
Oh my gosh.
It was literally just a random person that had a sign or they had told us what they were wearing or something. I can't remember how we identified each other, but they were waiting for us. And you know what? They were the sweetest people in the world.
Oh.
They gave us this entire like upstairs loft that was in the most beautiful like English countryside house. Like if you say, show me a house in England that you would make up like from stories and movies you'd heard, this was the house. It was that house with a garden and like tea and it was beautiful. And they gave us this whole upstairs that was renovated that had like its own little bathroom and a little sitting area. And
How cute.
it was so cute. And they were the nicest people in the world. They would drive us to the train station. They would pick us up from the train station. They would tell us where to go. They had a girl that was living with them. She was like probably 17 or 18. She was super sweet. She took us out to town one day. Like I think we went and played laser tag with her and her boyfriend.
How cute.
It was so sweet. I actually still am friends with her on Facebook today.
For sure.
And it's so fun. And I'm thinking it's probably good because those people were nice. But I feel like if I was just in some other country, I was just like, woohoo, everybody's so nice and wonderful. And some trafficker would have been like, get in this truck with
100%.
me. And then I would be gone forever. So
yeah.
it's probably good that I got married and went on my way having kids because I would probably not be alive today.
Oh, I can agree with you.
Yeah. I'm that person that's just
Ryan
like,
tied me down.
everything's fine, guys. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, I've hitchhiked in a bikini. That was a dumb idea by myself. Got in some truck.
Yeah.
I got to where I needed to go,
Yeah.
but that could have been bad.
But you might not have.
Yeah. I've picked up hitchhikers, which Ryan will never let me do now.
Yeah.
Ever. No matter what. Well, there's not really much hitchhikers here.
There really isn't.
But yeah, we're yes girls.
Yeah. I also picked up hitchhikers too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually have picked up hitchhikers and driven to cities 5 hours away, not even planning to go to that city just because I was like, oh, I need a ride. And I'm not doing anything.
My, you're so
And
spontaneous.
I'm not doing anything today. Like, I'm like, I've got the day off. Let's go. Like,
Oh my God.
100%. So
Jess.
I don't know if my mom knows that, but
Oops, now she does. It's out in the
yeah.
open.
I'm just a nice girl. I'm just trying to give people a ride.
Same. It's like, what if I was in their position? Ryan
Yeah.
goes, you can't think like that.
Yeah. And then just Mexico. We've been to Mexico a few times. That was all just in Cancun. So I have a whole list of places that I would love to go to. So this year is me and Andrew's 20th anniversary.
Woo!
And so we have always said we will go to Italy for our 20th anniversary. So we are.
Yay!
I'm in the process of planning that and scheduling things for that. And I'm super excited because
I'm so excited for you guys.
Italy's like on the top of my list. And we didn't really have like the traditional honeymoon, go somewhere fancy for a week or whatever. So I'm like, 20 years, I get my honeymoon.
You get your honeymoon for a week and an extra week because it's your 20 years.
Yep, that's right. So we're going to do 2 weeks in Italy and just enjoy the beautifulness of it all.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. Oh, so much wine, so many good like new people.
I'm just like all the
and
pasta.
the food. Oh,
Give me all the pasta.
The gelato.
All the bread. Yeah.
The naked statues. I mean, what else do you need?
I love it.
They're in Italy, right? Yeah.
I think there's lots of naked statues, all of them.
All in Europe.
All in Europe. They don't care.
They love the
They're like,
nude.
take your pants off.
Let me chisel it for you.
Pose for this statue.
Oh, it's so
So.
good. Oh, that's super, super exciting. Do you and Andrew have similar like travel ideas? Like me and Ryan are very opposite. He loves the make sure everything's planned, all inclusive, rather be at a resort. I'm more like, oh, I'd rather do like an Airbnb or something where I'm like in with the culture of like where we're going. I mean, it is, we like both. We'll
Yeah.
probably both do both. But are you and Andrew like that at all? Or you guys have similar tastes?
we're both pretty spontaneous.
Yeah, you guys
like,
are.
If we're like, oh, let's go to breakfast. And then at breakfast, we meet Gabrielle and her husband, and they invite us to dinner at the piazza. You know, like, we're going to show up
Girl,
for
you're going to
Gabrielle.
sound so good in
You know what
Italy.
Buongiorno.
There you go.
I don't know what that means.
Just watch Eat, Pray, Love and just eat,
I
pray,
know.
love this shit
I know.
through
I'm like,
and through.
I got to get on Duolingo and start working on my Italian. So yeah, we're both pretty spontaneous, but I like to have a relative plan. Like
Like an idea.
I want to have like a home spot. I want to be able to be like, this is where we're staying. Cause I don't like last minute, where am I going to sleep issues?
Yeah.
If we're staying somewhere and we go somewhere else and we get caught up in the moment and then we just spend the night under the stars sleeping on a beach or a park bench, sure.
You're for sure going to do that.
I'm fine with that. But I want to know that, like, when we wake up on the park bench, we can go back to the Airbnb
park bench.
and get a shower and whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I like a relative plan. Andrew is not huge. Like, he doesn't want to be tied down to an itinerary. So I'm like, if I was like, I want to take this tour and we're going to do on this boat and we're going to do this and this and this. I like doing those things, but I know he doesn't like a plan of those things. So 100% I will research my options and know in advance, like, when we get there, let's see how easy it is to get a reservation for this. If we need to book it a couple days out, then I can preemptively be like, okay, this is what I'd like to do. Let's book it. But I can't book a bunch of that stuff right now. Like right now I can buy flights and I can find a place to stay. And then after that, it's just
Go with the flow.
go with the flow.
Yeah.
So, and we're not huge like monument people, or
That was my next question.
We
Is there
wanna
like
see, like,
anything specifically
tour.
touristy?
not really. Like,
Yeah.
we fly into Rome, so we're gonna spend a couple days in Rome. And he's like, well, we have to go see the Colosseum, which kind of surprised me because
That he would want to go do that.
he's not big on a lot of that like super touristy stuff. But he's like, but we're there. We're like right by it. We might as well go see it. And I was like, yeah, let's go see it. That's fine.
Sure.
Like, we'll take a little walk by. I don't know. I don't know how
do
you
a drive by.
do a
of the
drive by. I'm excited just to see. I love different cultures. So honestly, like if we just went to Italy and hung out with like some Italian grandma for 5 days
Oh,
and just she taught us how to smash tomatoes and make pasta, I'd be like, best vacation.
that sounds so beautiful.
And just like hang out with her grandkids and like
I love it.
take a stroll through her vineyard. I'd be like, okay.
I know.
So I love beautiful places. I love just being in like small little villages and towns and just, you know, eating good food, drinking good coffee. Excited
Does
about
Italy
that
have
one.
good coffee?
I've heard they have good coffee.
You're about to find out.
We're going to find out. So I've heard they have good desserts. Like, we love Italian food. I don't know how we're going to.
First off, who doesn't like Italian food? It's
Yeah.
like comfort food to the max.
Yeah.
What have we been cooking?
Ooh, what have we been cooking? Well, the thing that's on my mind, I just made a bunch of super yummy snacks for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say your Super Bowl spread. I literally just had some, and Ryan had
I
some
love
for
it.
breakfast.
So yeah, I made some just that classic cold spinach dip, some cowboy caviar, which is vegan.
My fave. And I think it's Andrew's favorite too.
Yeah, he loves it.
Loves that stuff.
It's such a nice like mix of everything, and it's so like light at the same time. Oh, so good. And then I did some super yummy meatballs that this is, guys, I'm going to give you the recipe right now. Super simple. Frozen meatballs, cook them however they say to be cooked. I prefer air fried because it gives them a nice crisp.
They
on
were
the
super
outside.
soft, and I will say that. They were like very soft.
I baked those ones. So they weren't as crispy as I liked, but I was being lazy.
Well, I liked it soft because I fed it to Maverick.
Oh, nice. But the sauce for them is literally mustard and grape jelly, like half and half. That's it.
No way. No wonder, because when I cut it open to cut it for him, I was like, are these cooked all the way?
Yeah.
Of course they are, Kendall. They're freaking meatballs.
Yeah.
But it was because the jelly soaked in and it kind of gave it a different color.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but that makes total sense now.
But it's the simplest recipe. And on those ones, I actually threw in some extra like cranberry sauce, like this jellied stuff from Christmas time that I had in my fridge from something else I did the other day. And I had it extra and I was like, what else am I going to use this for? And so I just put that in. So it was part of that, some grape jelly, and some mustard. But it's like the easiest
Like
recipe
yellow
ever.
mustard or like
Yeah,
Dijon?
no, just yellow mustard.
That is
But it's
so
weird because when
great.
you start mixing, you're like, this is not going to work. And it's a really weird color. But the longer it sits, the more like combined it gets. And then once you get the meatballs in with it, they start to like soak it all up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like sweet, tangy, and it's super easy. And it's literally 3 ingredients.
That's crazy. Yeah,
So
they were raving about it yesterday.
What have you been eating?
This week I've done a lot of salads because I feel like I've been like neglecting my salad every day. So a lot of salads this week, but honestly I was like, I'm a lazy girl. I'm just going to get the salads that are like in the bags where you can just like, they give you the dressing, they give you the toppings, they give you this. And then I just like add a ton of stuff at the house. That. And then last night I made a pasta bake. That was really, really good. It was very strange how I did it, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
Ryan's aunt made like a vegan lentil chili, but it was almost like a soup, but it had like some not super heavy flavors of chili, but it was still really good. And I was like, I want pasta with it because I want something like heavier. So I threw it in with pasta, and then I put this like vegan cheese on top, and I baked it, and it was so good.
So you had like chili pasta with cheese.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I heard that I think it's in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They put chili on their spaghetti.
I want to say it's like Skyliner chili or...
Oh, Skyline. That sounds familiar.
I think it's Skyline, something like that. But yeah, they literally put...
You totally just made yourself vegan Skyline chili last night.
I totally did. Look at me go.
You didn't even know.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, I feel like people put chili on everything. Let's talk about this for a second. Hot dogs.
Yep.
People do put them on hamburgers. Fritos.
Baked potatoes.
Rice. What did we just say? Spaghetti. I mean, what else can you put chili on?
It's true. It's kind of just a meat sauce. With some beans, depending on your preference.
Yes.
If you're a chili with beans person, or if you're not. If you're vegan and you don't have beans in your chili.
What do you put in it?
Guys, are we just eating like sauced up tofu?
Yeah, I definitely put like a whole block of tofu in my chili, but I do put a lot of beans. I love beans so much. So our chili is a very bean-based chili.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, chili goes on everything, I guess.
Apparently.
Clearly, we need to make chili.
I guess so.
Again.
I know, I'm pretty sure we've already talked about chili before.
I know. We're the chili girls.
It's that time of year, guys.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I think we should influence people to travel while they can. And if they can, if it's even plausible, you know, like with financial, because I mean, the world is getting expensive these days.
Yeah.
So traveling for anybody is really hard. But if you have the opportunity and you can, I highly suggest traveling, honestly, even by yourself. I did a solo trip. My Africa trip was solo, but it was, you learn so much about who you are and who you want to be and about the world, and you like can see it through other people's eyes and experience the things that not everybody can do. So if you can do it, definitely go and travel.
Yeah, 100%. And let us know what you guys, like places you guys have been that's your favorite, or places that you want to go. I'd love to hear. I love hearing about people's trips and all their adventures and all of that. It's so fun to me.
Yeah, I do too.
So yeah, let us know what your guys' travel dreams are.
Yeah.
So fun. And we're going to put up a map of all these places that we don't know where they're actually at.
Oh my God. Well, you guys have a beautiful day. I am starving, and I'm going to go heat up some of that pasta that I made last night.
She's going to get her big ass salad bowl out again. I love it. I love it. Have a great week, guys.
Yes.
Hit us up. We'll be around.
You.
Okay. Bye, Kendall.
Adios.
Ciao.
Bon voyage. Ciao. Sayonara, suckers.
That, party people, wraps up another delightful episode of Parties to Playdates.
We hope you're leaving with a smile, a story, and maybe a tip or two.
Remember, life's journey is better shared with a friend.
And we're so grateful to be part of yours.
If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to rate and subscribe to our show.
Your support keeps our community growing and our stories flowing. We want to hear from you. Please send us your thoughts, ideas, and questions to partiestoplaydates@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Parties to Playdates.
Until next time, keep embracing the chaos and finding the joy.
Take care and stay connected, party people.
Bye for now, and don't forget to laugh a little extra today.
Bye.